The question is whether your wife, Bernadine Dohrn, felt as she did in 1970 when she seemed perfectly fine with murder. She said about the Charles Manson murders of a pregnant woman and 6 others, quote, offing those rich pigs with their own forks and knives and then eating a meal in the same room, far out. The weathermen dig Charles Manson. This is your sweetheart?
No.
This is your soulmate? That's right. And then his home got firebombed in the middle of the night. He had a 9-year-old boy in there named John who has been very public about this bombing. In your book with Bernadine, you quote the Weather Underground communique, and you say as follows, and I'm quoting now, 2 weeks before the townhouse explosion, which is a different bomb, 4 members of this group had firebombed Judge Murtaugh's house in New York as an action to support the Panther 21, whose trial was just beginning. To many people, this was a very good action. Within that group, however, the feeling developed that because this action had not done anything to hurt the pigs materially, it wasn't very important.
I didn't write that.
It's in your book.
Which book?
It's your book with Bernadine. You say in your book that you can't quite imagine putting a bomb in a building today, but you can't imagine entirely dismissing that possibility either. What would it take to make you bomb this country again?
As violent and nuts as we can be as a country, I can't completely say no. I would never, ever rise up in opposition in a very militant and serious way. I can't say I wouldn't.
While sitting down with a far-left internet site, Ayers had this to say about his time with me. Quote, "She struck me as a very strange person. She's like a cyborg constructed in the basement of Fox News. She is very striking, but very metallic, very cold. Her eyes are very cold." Well, I looked up cyborg, and it's a superhuman being, so I am choosing to take that as a compliment. Striking? Well, Ayers certainly knows a thing or two about that. Just ask little John Murtaugh, whose home Ayers' group bombed when John was 9 and at home asleep in his bed. As for my alleged time in the basement, well, I've never actually lived underground. Unlike Ayers and his wife Bernadine, who evaded the FBI for 11 years. And then there's the eyes. Man's got a point. They can be cold. Not as cold as those of the 3 people killed while making bombs for Ayers' group, but icy at times. Especially when I'm looking at a serial bomber who terrorized so many, including an innocent little boy. I'm sure Bernadine's eyes are much warmer, especially when she is discussing her admiration for serial killers who murder pregnant women. But I am thankful he came on the program, which was a stand-up move. By the way, when my husband Doug Brunt was on to talk about his new book, The Means, the viewers said that my eyes looked very dreamy. Look at them there. Look. Just see the dreaminess? So it's not always cold. It depends on the person. Let me know what you think. Send me a tweet at Megyn Kelly using the hashtag KellyFile, or leave us a comment on Facebook.com/TheKellyFile. And coming up on